Hi guys, just a quick video explaining some of the other elasticities of demand. All right, the income elasticity of demand basically is how much the quantity demanded of a good responds to the change in consumers' income, right? So it is the percentage change in the quantity demanded of a good, any good, divided by the percentage change in the income. And when we're using the midpoint formula, the midpoint method, which we always do in our class, we can use the same formula, right? So for example, the quantity demanded of a good, increased from Q1 to Q2, and we divide that by the average, and we take the difference of our incomes and divide it by the average of the incomes as well. So we'll go over a working example here, but I don't think it'll be too difficult for you. Let's read the scenario here. It says income increases from 49,000 to 51,000. We'll just say that income increases across the country. The average income across the country was 49,000. Now it's moved to 51,000. And what we've seen is we've seen an increase in the quantity demanded of good A from 1,000 units to 1,150. All right, so right away we should be able to say, we'll be able to see, well, is this an inferior good or is this a normal good? That's right. This is a normal good. We know that because income increases and the quantity demanded increases, and that's a normal good. If the quantity demanded decreased, right, then we'd see a negative sign, right? Income increases, quantity demanded of a good decreases. We know that the answer would be negative, and we would know it's an inferior good. We would know it's like bus rides or no-name macaroni and cheese and things like that, okay? So let's go over a quick example. I know that you know how to pluck numbers into a formula. We'll just divide that by the average. And, 51,000 is the new average income across the country minus 49,000. And we will divide that by the average, which is 50,000. And we're going to get a positive number. That's 0.14 divided by 0.04. And we get this positive number. When we do the math, we get 3.5. Anything above 3 it's likely like a luxury good, like a really nice leather couch or a Lexus sports car, a BMW or a Gucci watch. Typically they have higher correlations with increases in income. That's why I say that. And you could get an income elasticity that's even higher than 3.5, of course, 4, 5, 6, 7, that have strong correlations with increases in income. All right, now if for example, again, just for fun, let's just say that there was a decrease. Well, obviously we know it's going to be a negative number, right? And so let's say the quantity decreased from 1,000 to, I don't know, let's say 950. Well, it's not hard to do the math now. Now we got 950 minus 1,000 divided by the average, which is 975, all over, well, the same number, right? Income hasn't changed in this equation. 49,000. And we'll divide that by the average, which is 50,000. And we will get something like negative 0.05 divided by 0.04. And if we do the math, we're going to get negative 1.25. Okay, so the correlation isn't as strong, but we got that negative number. That does mean that it's an inferior good. And that's the income elasticity of demand. If it's a negative number, it's inferior. If it's a positive number, it's a normal good. And the size of the number indicates how much it responds to changes in income. All right, so the last elasticity of demand we're going to talk about is the cross-price elasticity of demand. It lets us determine whether or not a product is a substitute or whether or not it's a complement. Basically, it is how much the quantity demanded of one good responds to a change in the price of another good. And we can see it by the following formulas. If we have a price change in good 2, what's the implication for the quantity demanded of good 1? So we're dealing with the quantity demanded of good 1 on the top when we're using the midpoint method, as well as the price change of another good. Let's take hamburgers and hot dogs. Well, I think I've given it away, haven't I? I've used a real clear example on purpose, but we know that they're substitutes, right? So let's see if we can fill in the blanks here. The price of hamburgers increases from $4 to $5, and the quantity demanded of hot dogs, what is it going to do? Is it going to increase or is it going to decrease? Price of hamburgers increases, so the quantity demanded of hot dogs should increase. And let's say that the quantity demanded of hot dogs increases from, and I just make up numbers here, 1,000 to 1,200. So what do you think? Pause the video. Can you pluck it in? What number do you get? Okay. So quantity of hot dogs is on the top. 1,200. That's what it changes to. That's Q2. Minus Q1, 1,000. Divided by the average, 1,100. Divided by the change in the price of hamburgers. Moved from $4 to $5. And the average, $4.50. What does it equal? 0.2 over 0.22. None of these are negative numbers. 0.91. It's a positive number, so we've confirmed that it is in fact a substitute. Okay, so we're talking about substitutes, but we're also talking about complements. The price, let's look at this scenario. The price of a hot dog buns increases from $3 to $4, and the quantity demand of wieners, well, wait a sec, is that going to increase or is that going to decrease? Price of hot dog buns increases. So what's going to happen to the quantity demanded of wieners? The cost of a hot dog basically just got more expensive. People are going to demand less. So the quantity demanded of wieners is going to decrease. And again, let's just say that starts off at 1,000, but this time it's going to decrease down to 700. All right, do the math. Pause the video if you can. 700 is Q2. That was the original quantity, dividing that by the average. And the price moves from $3 to $4. And that's $3.50. So ultimately here we get negative. There we go. There's that negative number. 700 minus 1,000 divided by 850. So there we go, 0.35. And 0.29. We are going to have a negative number here of 120. We know that because there's an increase in the price of hot dog buns, that leads to a decrease in the quantity demanded of another good, that they must be complements then. So whenever you do this calculation, that's typically what you're trying to find out. You're trying to find out if it's a substitute or if it's a complement. You get a positive sign, it's a substitute. All right, and I guess the strength of the number shows the strength of the relationship. And, right, so anyways, so 120 is quite a strong relationship, which you kind of can imagine, right? Hot dog buns, they're kind of only used for one thing. Well, that's my idea anyways. Anyways, thanks guys. Take care.